Here we highlight St. Matthew, one of the 4 evangelists and one of the 12 apostles. Matthew is holding a scroll on which is written, we presume, the gospel that he composed. It's the gospel that a lot of people in the early church used to advise people to read first. And still many people love to read it first among the gospels. Matthew was a tax collector, and in Jesus' time, tax collectors were seen as corrupt, conniving. They cheated. And so his coming to follow Christ was seen as a conversion. He left behind his old bad ways, and he struck out in a new direction when Jesus said to him, "Follow me." There's a famous painting by the artist Caravaggio. It's in Rome, and it shows the light streaming into the face of Matthew as he sits among other tax collectors, and in comes Jesus with Peter. Jesus points to him, and Matthew says, "Me? You want me?" As if to say, how could you want a tax collector? We're known as bad people. The message for us might be, Jesus wants us. He wants us at our best, but he even reaches out to us when we think we're not the best, and he can make us better than we are. The Gospel of Matthew is a wonderful gospel for helping us to see a combination of the teachings of Jesus and the miracles of Jesus and the deeds of Jesus. The Gospel of Matthew was written for the Jewish people who had been awaiting a Messiah. So all through that gospel, you see ways in which Jesus is the fulfillment of what the Jewish people were waiting for. And as the teaching is clearly explained in the Gospel of Matthew, you'll find also that the miracles are done to show he really is the one you've been waiting for. Some other themes in Matthew's Gospel are turning from evil and doing what God wants you to do. Also, picking up the cross with Jesus in this sense, doing things that involve sacrifice and loving even when it hurts, in order to join yourself more fully to the way of life of Jesus Christ. Another theme, being humble like a child, not being proud or haughty or arrogant, but being simple, childlike. And lastly, entering into the church. Matthew's gospel is great for reminding us that when we follow Christ, we don't do it just alone. We follow Jesus with everyone else in the church. And Matthew's gospel tells us that there are certain practices, certain disciplines, certain ways of worship that are part of the life of the church, and we're not alone. We have an obligation to meet Christ with others, and in gathering with them and in living with them and serving them and worshiping with them, we're delighting in the call of Christ. This window is given in memory of Mary A. Cunningham, and we can pray to St. Matthew. Matthew, be for us our strength, especially if we need to change our ways, and help us to see how much we need the church to help us, how much we need to be people who worship you faithfully, and how much we need to turn from darkness toward that light that Christ shone on you when he picked you to follow him. Matthew, help us to follow Jesus as did you.